in midfield with Thomas and newly arrived Kieran Wilkinson at fly half. Weatherby, Gallagher and Rushton are the front row, with Labora, new arrival, and Olliert in the second row. Ridgway, Owen and Captain Dickinson make up the back row. For the visitors, Lloyd, Seaton, Gribben, McMillan, Simmons and Ferdinand make up the backs, with Nutton leading alongside Honey. Bentley, Clayton and Diamond, the new front row, with Wilkinson and Huey in the second row. Ransom, Ingle and Marshall are the back row as Henry Pearson gets us underway.
Dad?
The opening ball is just dribbled off the field of play. It's going to be a throw into the line out for the home side, Caldy, playing from left to right. And they set up a solid drive from the maul and tucked in behind there. Scrum half has a snipe round the side, looks to find a supporting runner. Dan Owen on debut dribbles the ball forward into Scottish possession now. Not just in behind his second appearance for Scottish. Finds his fly half, Honey, dribbles it downfield. Well marshalled by the home side. Started brightly, look energetic with their hands on the ball. Solid defence from Scottish, but the penalty has gone the way of the home side, and it's a bright start for Caldy.
Boys look like they want to play, eh? Turn the ball there for Scottish, kick it in behind. It's just wind, howling. Good decision from Brilliant to carry that well and kick it. It's going to be a game of 2 hours, I think, with this wind. See how it plays out.
A very challenging wind there from the penalty. You can see there's not a lot of distance, just the objective to make it off the field of play. Alongside me this afternoon is Ollie Wynn, regular scrum half for the home side club Caldy. Succumbed to an injury during pre-season, but hoping to be back soon. And he's watching on as Caldy able to take advantage from that line out and set up in midfield, and London Scottish solid over the ball.
Not a lot going on now, I don't think. Not a lot to say at this point. That's a good clearance, Wind's howling, like I say, into the face of the clubhouse, so then we'll see a lot of kicks to this touchline.
Honey with a good kick from deep inside his own half. The wind going from right to left here at Greenfield. It's a swirling wind, but certainly managed to get behind that. And it's a short line out, and it's on to the front, and it's Diamond who takes it off his hooker Clayton. A newly formed front three debutants up front for the visitors this afternoon. And that loose ball being picked up by the last debutant, Bentley, rolling forward with ball in hand. As London Scottish enjoy the first real chance for either side in opposition territory, Nutting over the ball. The second row's linking up well, and good tip on from Huey. Ball going into the wider channels, and it looks like it's opened up for Scottish. It's an opportunity to go in the corner, and they're going to coast round to go as close to the post as possible, and it's first blood to London Scottish here.
Yeah, watching on, that's a big work on from us. We've been working on that hard in pre-season, about getting up on the edge and back in. As you see there, I couldn't see who, but we're getting up and not back, and they pick us off on the edge. Good try from Scottish.
It was Matthew Gribben with the try, the first try in the game here, and it gives the visitors, who are late arrivals to the ground, late starters in the game, an early advantage, 5 points to nil with the kick to come. for Fraser Honey. And it's a successful one as well. See how difficult those conditions are. The ball being bitten into by that wind. And it's a promising start for London Scottish. Will be Caldy to get play back underway. It's a high hanging kick which has just been grabbed by the wind and then goes off the field of play, and perhaps a little bit of frustrated communication from the Caldy side in midfield there. Certainly a frustrating figure in Kieran Wilkinson, brother of outside centre Connor, an arrival after playing through the Sale Academy, then Leicester Tigers, and then a stint with Newcastle Falcons. Arrives at Patonfield to lend his experience. Play back underway with a centre field scrum. Captain Nutton for the Exiles. And the scrum crumbles on the halfway line. And it's adjudged to have been Caldy at fault. I don't think either of us on our viewing point here on top of a bench can probably be qualified enough to judge what went on there, but
when I'm stood at the side of the scrum, I couldn't tell you what's going on. But just watching that restart, look, watching Scottish now kick from the middle of the field, halfway line. I think it's going to be who can deal with the wind the best. Kieran's kicked that almost centre down the field, and the wind's taking it, blowing it straight out on the full. So, yeah, it opens the door for Scottish here to extend their lead.
Scottish yet to pick up a victory at Patonfield, and they've got an opportunity here to extend their 7-point advantage. The big right boot from the halfway line, and it's laser-like from fly half Fraser Nutton, and it's an additional 3 points, and it's 10 points to 0 for the visitors.
I think next score is massive. 10-0 down, and how long we played? Less than 10 minutes, I think. I think next score is huge here. And
an orthodox low trajectory on the restart is gobbled up by Scottish inside their 22, and they make haste out of their own zone. A smart option from fly half Wilkinson, not wanting to give away Nicholas territory. What is really testing conditions, and you're probably about to see how far that wind takes that ball. It's high in the sky and it drops, and well gathered in the backfield from Caldy. Brilliant work from Matt Kilcourse, the number 15 for the home side. Try and find his pods of runners to set the platform to launch downfield. Judged there. It's another tested effort, and it's a great kick chase from Caldy as well. Able to get up and put pressure on London Scottish. The fullback Lloyd Seed doing well to gather the ball, but ushered out by a tenacious Caldy defence.
Yeah, New Tiny Reeves, that is probably his strong point, his kick chase. You see him paddling there before. That's a big work on as well. We've had a couple of lads take people out in the air in pre-season. Just cost your field position penalties. That's what we're trying to cut down, penalties, field position. In a day like this when the wind is howling, field position is key.
Matt Gallagher launches in the lineup. You can see again, telling that wind is these pivotal points in the game. The kicking game and the set piece are going to be tested for the hooker and the fly halves this afternoon. Carry for new signing Max Liboda, Polish international from Boroughmuir Bears in the semi-professional ranks in Scotland. Wilkinson to try and find a runner, and is able to find one in Matt Kilcourse, but he's big engulfed by red shirts. Short goal from captain JJ Dickinson. Caldy find no joy with ball in hand and to go to the sky again. And this is anybody's, and it's fallen down. It's been flapped back by Caldy, but lifted by a lazy runner in Vaughan Bentley. Right place and right time. Will Simmons, and chips over, and has been well gathered there by the try scorer Gribben. The kick downfield, the right option. Caldy trying to play the way out of trouble. They've been able to get the penalty, but good play in the backfield by Matt Kilcoast, who was watching that all the way.
I think he's going to have to change his boots. That's the third time now he's slipped. He's going to have to change them boots at half time.
Chance to clear their lines now. Do you have any spare pairs of those orange boots that Kieran Wilkinson's got in the...
Yeah, he's been giving out some boots, Kieran has. I got no spare boots, so no point in me giving out boots. He's not going to fit in my little feet.
Short line out, great work from Caldy, and they streak down the temporary stand, and the ball was propelled forward.
Smart play there. You know, as I keep saying, the wind is howling out here, so a little short line out, and that's a specialty of the hooker.
Good play from the forwards, good skill shown as well by hooker Matt Gallagher. Aware of the oncoming defence, just wanting to get the ball downfield, and has been able to gather the penalty, which means that he gets another chance to throw into the line out. And the fact that both teams have went short of the line out shows how difficult this wind is. And I know it's been a talking point in the opening 10 minutes or so, but it is really challenging conditions.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said earlier, I think it's going to be who can deal with the wind the best. The wind is coming sideways, so it's going to be the same both sides, but I do think the wind's a massive factor here, so it is going to be a battle of who can play with it better.
Laboda tipping on, or trying to tip on, and being gathered and driven to the ground. The initial carry from JJ Dickinson setting up this platform. And Caldy starting to settle into this game and conceding the try and a long range penalty. They have started to settle down. The bouncing ball being gathered by Scottish, and it's opened up again, and there's a chance here for Noah Ferdinand.
I think at the moment, with talking about the wind, I think Scottish are picking up all the 50-50s on the floor, which is massive for them. I think it's just a momentum swing. The kick goes up, and obviously with the wind, it's not going a million miles, but Scottish seems to always come away with possession, which is a big talking point at the moment.
A slight break in play, and just a reminder that every single game is coming to you live from Clubber TV. You can watch every game, and you can get a 20% discount as well from your club. That discount and never miss out on the action, all live and on demand throughout the season, including the playoffs. It's a great advert for this level of rugby. Great exposure for both clubs. A fourth year at this level for Caldy. It's a sizable crowd here as well. It's been great to come down and see a little bit more about the club. It's a really well supported club.
Yeah, I mean, we do get more on the bank than this, but I think the weather's put a few people off. Richmond at home next week. If it's a sunny way, I've not looked at the weather, but I imagine this storm is going to pass by. So hopefully next weekend we should have better weather and we should have a few more on the bank. But yeah, it's a well-supported club.
It's a quick tap and go there from Nye Thomas, and takes place scampering over the 10-metre line. Caldy look to inject some pace into their passages of play now. Another another outstretched arm from match official Henry Pearson, and Caldy are off and going again. Up towards the 22-metre line now. Inside centre, Barlow plunges forward. Wilkinson puts boot to ball and tries to test Scottish in behind. Swept up by the visitors. Good build-up play from Caldy, just kicking the ball downfield and just not being able to capitalise on that ball. It's another chance to launch a counter-attack as it's gathered by Kilcourse, who skips out the first challenge but then runs into a thud and hit. Wilkinson again puts boot to ball, starts it downfield, asks Nutton to clear his lines, and Nutton has found an acre of space in the Caldy 22. Kilcourse is going to get back, retreat. Caldy look to try and play from deep, and they've done a great job initially. Excellent work from Will Robinson. That Thomas there quickly, able to find Laboda. And Laboda has been able to find a Scottish player who's just fallen to the deck, and it's going to mean a little bit of running repairs on for London Scottish. It does look like it's potentially their back row forward, Jack Ingle, who's down. So it's getting confirmation of that number there. It certainly looks like it is Jack Ingle, the joint second most capped player at the club. And it might be an early introduction for Jake Spurway. So maybe an earlier return for injury for the replacement than anticipated. Not been playing since a leg injury in February, so it might be an early introduction for the Scottish number 20. The try scorer in this game, Matthew Gribben, with the opening try. The Scottish were able to stretch to the fringe in the arc round to get the opening score. An easy conversion for Fraser Honey on debut, and he's extending their lead with a halfway line penalty. An additional 3 points means it's a 10-point advantage for the visitors. I think they've never picked up a victory here in Paynfield. Playing well with the wind in their tails just now. Caldy battling hard into the conditions. And London Scottish looking to try and take advantage of any counter-attacking opportunity. Scrum outside the Caldy 22. The first one crumpled to the ground, but this is a more fruitful effort from Caldy. Dickinson is able to filter the ball wider into the path of Kilcourse. And that's been picked off, and it was brilliantly judged there by Scottish. It was Ransom, the captain, who was able to judge the flight of the ball. The lead pass from the scrum half. Nine Thomas almost afforded an opportunity, but another fumble means it's going to be another scrum. And Scottish are taking advantage of any opportunity to stifle any loose balls.
I'm back. I've just been to go and have a drink. Yeah, Scottish have started well. Like you said earlier, Caldy have weathered the storm. Just can't seem to get out of their half at the moment. Yeah, it's in the balance. Well, 10-0 down, but the game it is in the balance at the moment. Like I said earlier, next try is crucial.
Another put into the scrum. This time again for Nye Thomas. Good interlinked play from the backs as Wilkinson feeds it wide, and an opportunity for Robinson to open his legs again.
Cody's fast open his legs, I like that.
stibbling Connor Wilkinson now. Pumps that right foot and darts back infield. Laboda, who's impressed on debut. The ball filtered back and Rushton has to kill that ball. They press the reset button and go again. Caldy retreating in terms of territory, but still got possession as Wilkinson tries to stab it through again. It's a delicately judged ball, and it's been well picked up by Connor Wilkinson, but just fumbled forward. Back garden stuff from the Wilkinson brothers there, linking up well, but just a little fumble, but it was looking promising.
Yeah, it's cute. Kieran's been looking for that little rubber in behind a couple of times now, and that paid off. But you see the boys just want to get the ball in Willie Roberts' hands on the edge. Yeah, didn't quite have the space then, but when he has got the space, you'll see what he can do.
Again, another opportunity for some running repairs. As you can see, a replacement for London Scottish coming on. Josh Bellamy has just jogged onto the pitch. Bellamy just tying his shoelaces, another early introduction to the game. Part of the Six Nations success for England under 20s a year ago, on loan from Harlequins. So Scottish have had to go to their bench pretty early in this game. Two players. And he's been replaced by Jake Spurway in his first game back since February. Solid scrum from Scottish. Nutton digs about at the back and launching the ball out. It's just been misjudged there by Will Simmons, and it's another unforced error. Like, again, just a sign of how difficult it is. We were talking about the hookers and the kickers, but you'll know from the base of a scrum to judge that wind and try and get it to your first receiver is so challenging.
It is, aye. It's a good opportunity here for Caldy. It's probably as deep as we have been into their half all game. So yeah, it's a good hat to launch off. Let's see what Kieran will fire the backs with.
I've been talked about the introduction of Kieran Wilkinson at fly half before the game, the experience he brings. He's just loitering in behind now, just in conversation with his inside centre, Michael Barlow. And then in conversation with Thomas, player on loan from Sale Sharks. He was used a little bit more by the Sharks last year, but he has impressed during his time here at Patonfield. And it's him that rolls the ball into a solid scrum, and Dickinson then just gets it straight into his path, and the opportunity was open there for Barlow just to pierce through the defensive line, but again, the ball just not being able to be transferred in these challenging conditions is nutting. Just launches the ball back, and it's been rocketed downfield. Kilcourse with the ball in hand, sizing up his options, slaloming his way towards defence when he's met by Will Simmons. And a messy breakdown perhaps has afforded some space out wide. And it has done just that. It's a scrappy ball that's ended up getting there, but it's been hacked downfield. Replacement Bellamy slices through the field. He's got some support out wide, but retreating back. A desperate hit in there was Matt Gallagher, and he needed to make it as well. And possession afforded back to the home side. Bellamy looking dangerous from the bench. Caldy with an opportunity to really stretch this Scottish side and get the penalty. but they've had a lot of opportunities inside Scottish territory. They've not really been able to put a lot of pressure on London Scottish for a sustained amount of time.
Yeah, I didn't want to jinx it from a Caldy perspective when he came on, but he's the 15, Josh Bellamy, is a sharp little player. Just feel like the game's gone slightly stale at the moment. There's a lot of action going on, but nobody can find a chink in the armour. So, yeah, it's a good watch, but like I say, as I keep saying, the next score is crucial.
10 points to nil, the visitors lead here at Patonfield. On the opening weekend of the Champ Rugby campaign, every single game brought live and exclusive on Cobber TV. As again, Barlow is launched forward. Laboda linking up as well, again, and Scottish up sharp, putting pressure on the second row. An unforced error yet again. As you said, the game is a little bit stop-start, and it probably, in the conditions it is, it probably does favour Scottish just now. Because
yeah, well, I think the tale of the story at the moment is Scottish can keep possession and can put it through the hands. Yeah, Caldy seems to be struggling, seems to be dropping balls and letting Scottish have launch pads. Scottish seem to be doing the basics a bit better. They seem to be dealing with the wind a bit better. But like I say, keep watching this to see how it goes from here.
Dan Nutton again rolls into a very steady platform, and he's got his fly half Honey, who's looked steady in that jersey. Ferdinand on the wing, and then Simon picks and goes, affords a bit of time for some support to get there. First real carry for Jake Spurway. Honey through the hands. McMillan offers an outlet. Scottish looking to set up in their pods to really test this defence, but again putting boot to ball, and that is a really difficult kick to try and judge. Well weighted by Fraser Honey, and all Matt Gilcourse can do is watch that ball drift over his skull and go off the field to play inside of his 22.
Yeah, smart play from the Scottish 10, putting their boys in the right area. Like you say, the ball bounced straight over Kelly's head, so there's not a lot he can do, but smart play. It's percentage play in a day like this.
Line out to be accurate in challenging conditions, and again that is a real gamble inside the 22, and it's paid off as it's safely back in the hands of Gallagher. But then as the ball's tried to be put downfield, it has ended up being spilled into the guts of London Scottish, but they cannot capitalise and take advantage of that opportunity. Caldy's done the hard thing there, getting the ball back from the line out, but it's not in.
Just seem a bit erratic at the moment, seem a bit panicked. Like I say, the game, the last 10-15 minutes has been quite calm and not a lot of shots fired, but Caldy seems a bit panicked at the moment. It's struggling to get outside their half. The wind is coming across the clubhouse, but it's also now howling into the corner. So, like I said, it's going to be a game of two halves. I think Caldy could go in half time 10-0 down. I think at this point you would take it. They've just got to utilise the wind in the second half. But like Scottish are playing well, playing percentage game, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So we'll see.
Brilliantly outlined by Ollie Wins. Come half here at Caldy, having a watch in full position on the sideline for this game, and hopefully back in action soon as it goes towards the tail. And it's been picked off there by Harry Clayton. One of 3 debuts in the front row for the Scottish side. Burrow deep by Matt Wilkinson. Nutton stoops down to feed the other second row there. Nutton looking to try and keep the tempo in this passage of play as the try line beckons for the Scottish side. Looking at breach it for the second time in this game. Another dart towards the line. It's now man who started this passage of play from the tail, Clayton with his hands on ball. Spurway stopped. Scottish come again. Another 40 towards the line, this time by Tom Marshall. His back row colleague has a dart towards the line as Noah Ferdinand is well dealt with and he's hoisted in the air. And it's Caldy's job now to try and stifle this attacking opportunity. The Caldy bodies engulf the Scottish left winger. And they're able to escort him off the pitch. And it's going to be a goal line dropout. Caldy may restart the game in these conditions, but really pugnacious defence from this Caldy side.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough kick-off, but that's impressive to see. That's last season. That's where we let teams get in, let them push us over the edge. But the boys are out there fighting, so yeah, it's very, very positive to see.
The referee in conversation with his assistants have judged this to be a 22 dropout. Almost feels like a throwback when you see fly half dropping out from the 22 as Nutton tries to gather and spills the ball. The Caldy spectators in raptures thinking there was a knock on in there. The penalty might just trump a knock on, but they do get one. Good kick chase from the Caldy side.
Yeah, a lot of appealing for a knock on there, but ref's got a whistle in his hand, hasn't he? So he's always right. Great turnover from Nye, and let's see if we can nudge his ball up the field now and launch a bit of a counter. The wind seems to have died a little bit now, thank God.
Just at the right time as well, because Wilkinson has put in a purler. A slow, calculated walk towards this line out. Matt Gallagher, ball above his head, wants to find his target. He goes to the middle, and it's been brought down, and it'll want to start marching its way towards the line. It's got some momentum, it's splintered away, it's still got it going. There's an opportunity here for Caldy to strike back if they can keep it going forward, and they do! They breach the try line, and they get the ball down. It looks like it's the hooker Matt Gallagher with the try.
Yeah, you get on Caldy Instagram, I called that. Number 2 would score for Caldy first this season, Matt Gallagher.
Excellent work from the forward set up by the fly half Kieran Wilkinson. A brilliant touch finder, and then from the line out brought down and splintering away was a breakaway group. The momentum kept going for the home side, and they were able to bundle their way over the try line.
Tough kick this coming up, but yeah, that is playing behind that pack all last season. That is the speciality of our team. The maul is absolutely credit to the forwards. It is our key area to go to. They are quality in the maul.
Challenging conversion now. And it's accurate from the fly half as well. Narrows the margins to 3 points. Caldy 7, London Scottish 10. These games are all the time for me, and it's proven so again. Ball allowed to bounce in the 22, but it eventually is gathered well. Caldy want to settle and make sure they get a clean exit. And it's a high one, and it's spiralling and twisting in the wind as it exits stage left, and it's out in the full. No, but not be the way that they'll want to have exited their 22 after scoring a try.
No, that's been a weakness of our game for the last year. I don't know how long is on the clock, but I think, like I said earlier, if we could get it at 10-0, we're now 10-7. I think we'll take this. I think we just need to see the half out and get with the win the second half.
Simmons tasked with setting up the platform, and it's the opportunity for the second row to peel round McTower and Huey. His second row colleague Wilkinson is then next up, and Spurway showing confidence from returning from injury. It's certainly not holding back. And he loses Caldy defence, but it matches the Scottish attack there and drives them back towards that 22-metre line. Another thundering challenge comes in there. From Sam Holyoke. Again, the ball just grasped by the wind as it filtered across the face there of Will Simmons. Just not able to stretch his fingers enough to get the ball under control. And Caldy have looked really assured for the last 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I said 10-15 minutes, a little panic, but now they've had a bit of a field position. They've got to try and their belt. Looks like they've just calmed them. You see a big shot there coming in from Max, new signing. He looks very good. He looked very good in pre-season, so hopefully he can blossom this season. Big Monty, Farmer, so just fucking...
Sorry about that, the language there. The passion from a Caldy perspective perhaps overflowing. Sorry if that did offend anybody tuning in on one of our many games on Clubber TV covering Championship Rugby, Champ Rugby campaign, which is back underway in the opening weekend. It's going to restart with a scrum. Another chance for Nat Thomas, who's been able to keep the tempo going in this game behind a never growing confident Caldy pack. They're really getting under the skin of this London Scottish side. Yielding the free kick from the scrum, and I think Wilkinson is pointing towards the grey clouds up above, wanting to just launch this into the sky and put a challenging ball for Bellamy to deal with, and he does well. He's under a lot of pressure from Reece on debut. Clumsy hands in midfield from Scottish has gifted the ball back to Caldy. They're going to come back to this bankside. Wilkinson linking up. It's now a chance for Tudor to streak down the wing and stabs it forward to Bellamy. And his shirt has certainly been tested there as Caldy cling on to try and get him under wraps. Dangerous player. We've seen since his introduction after maybe 20 minutes here at Painfield. Nothing blessed with wind at his tail, just floats that downfield. That's a good exit from London Scottish.
Massive exit. You can just kick that from nearly his 5 metre line to the opposition's 10. The wind is massive.
Takes play back inside Caldy territory. Game started a little bit later than scheduled. It was 3 o'clock kickoff it was scheduled for. It was 2:15 due to traffic issues on the way up for the Scottish side. And they're able to paw back at the line out and gather that ball, and Thomas does excellently well to pirouette out of trouble. Secures the ball for this Caldy side, and it's another chance for the second rows just to help each other out. Gain some stability with the ball in hand. And Thomas goes to the sky again. Tudor does well to flap that back, and it's being gathered by Gallagher. Caldy now benefiting from the bouncing ball. It was all Scottish in the opening 15 minutes, and now Caldy's starting to get their chests out slightly. Thomas has got Wilkinson waiting. offload dodge to try and disconnect the midfield defence. Doesn't work.
No way!
Thomas burrows down and he does eventually find Wilkinson. Kilcourse coming off of his full-back post to offer an extra man in the wider channels. Michael Barlow again being tasked with trying to protect that ball. He's had to work incredibly hard the inside centre. Thomas waits just to almost wait for the wind to die down, and I think this is going to be another one which is just going to be blown off the pitch. Just at the point that ball reached the apex of its trajectory, it was greeted by a stiff stormy which took the ball towards the bank side.
Yeah, I think both sides look like they want to just get in for half time, have a chat, have a bit of a rest, come on second half. I think the second half's going to be exciting. There's a lot to play for. Game's completely open now.
This time the running repairs for the home side. Rushton rolled the ground and springs back to his feet, and the tight head is ready to go.
I don't think Springs and Nathan Rushton go together in the same. I don't think they go together in the same sentence, unfortunately. But yeah, Bushy, hell of a character.
Hands on knees at the front of the line out, watching the movement from the Scottish side. They go through their repertoire and the ball filters back. Simmons skipping the ball through his hands, able to secure it this time. Scottish looking for a little bit more accuracy when they've got possession. They've struggled so far and they struggle again, and they gift the ball to Caldy, and it's an opportunity on the fringe. The ball launched back in field, but lying in wait was London Scottish, but isolated, dogged defence from this Caldy side, just able to isolate the Scottish attacker. It does look like it was perhaps Spurway this time, and they get the penalty as wind picks up and they can kick the ball downfield. It was an excellent kick downfield before from Wilkinson, which set up Caldy's only try in this game. Try from hooker Matt Gallagher. This one just shy of the 22 metre line. Gallagher goes to the tail, it's drifted in the wind, and it was a daring ball to launch back into play. And you could see by the position where he gathered, perhaps the wind had won. And it was contested as well by Scottish. Half time. Nutting lawyers at the tunnel, ready to get play back underway. You do feel that perhaps Scottish are just wanting to see half time come pretty soon and trying to utilise the wind again. We find Kilcourse waiting for the ball. Angles is running field. He skips through the first challenge of Simmons, but waiting there is Ransom. Connor Wilkinson then has a foray forward, and Thomas then feels that it's opened up round the fringes, but quickly plugged by the red shirts. Max Liboda, as the rain starts to drizzle down here at Patonfield, will make it even more challenging for the players on either side. And it's a raking kick downfield, but has it got a little bit too much legs in it from Nutton? And it certainly looks like it does. And it's going to be a pan all the way back to the right.
Looks like there's one more launch of the half, but yeah, the rain's coming down now. Then we might have to half.
Spectators here at Painfield make haste towards the bar as we have to remain on top of the commentary position that we've got here. Another scrum and another opportunity for Thomas to get play back underway. How Caldy would love to get another try before half time. Picked by Captain Dickinson, and he is able to link up. Thomas skips free. He's got the option back inside, but has been well marshalled and well defended by the Scottish defence. The next wave of attack comes as Captain Dickinson picks and goes round the corner. Presents the ball back, and Thomas barking orders at the forwards. Caldy looking to flex their muscles. Another drive forward. Taking a little bit wider now. Feel like there's a gap a little bit further out in the weaker arms in the defence, but it has just been fumbled. And it's a knock on, and it's going to be the final play in the first half. Disappointed groans from the Caldy fans here, feeling that there was another try coming their way, but it's been an interesting first 40 minutes here at Painfield. A couple of early replacements for London Scotch in the first half, but they got the scoring underway with a try after 10 minutes or so. It was their winger Matthew Cribben in a long range penalty from Fraser Honey. It meant it was 10-0 until Gallagher was able to trundle over from a powerful driving maul. An expertly taken conversion from Kieran Wilkinson means here at Painfield, an opening weekend in Champ Rugby, it's Caldy 7, London Scotch 10.
not taking anything out of this bag. He's
He's been good. Maybe had a little slip, but
did he?
Yeah.
That's fine. You were live for about you were on the what? After that side. Oh, this side.
see if you were ideal. So you just like smash a country on each. Alright?
yeah, we're just trying to work out a way. Do you know if there's any way to beat this like more sheltered way? how.
The thing is, the only place would be in there, but then you just can't see
No, you just
the
can't see
game.
the game. No.
Um,
Sorry, I'm just talking to the commentator now. We're just trying to work out potential. The only place that would be. Hello. Oh yeah, sorry.
Somewhere.
yeah, no, the commentary.
Oh, for the Scottish, is it? Yeah.
No, it's Champ Rugby have got broadcasting broadcasting the game. So
Is this wind playing havoc with you?
yeah, it's not easy because we're meant to be on little mics and then just because they're all because we do every game. I think it's limited production, so meant to have them, but then it affects my budget. I just think it's not ideal. Because the thing you get the protection there, but obviously they're down. So yeah, I think health and safety said that can go on.
Well, they're taking all the advertising on.
Yeah.
Everything.
But there's nobody really going there. I can't see the game. You can't hear me. So I'm stuck up. I'll just watch the game really. Just speak.
I'd have to charge you the fine.
players making their way back out onto the pitch. Scottish first on to Patonfield, led on by captain Dan Nutton, the scrum half. They'll be hoping that London Scottish can retain this advantage that they have come full time. Currently leading by 10 points to 7 against the home side. And it is a slow pedestrian walk from our closing position right hand side onto the pitch. A focused lead on from their captain JJ Dickinson, the number 8. Certainly showed his importance to the side in the first half. Reminder, try scorers gribbing for Scottish in the first half. He got the scoring underway. Scottish have been clawed back from 10 points ahead. A try from hooker Matt Gallagher has narrowed the margins. We get the second 40 underway. He's been allowed to bounce in the 22, but Wilkinson sweeps up and is able to gather. One conversion in the first half for him. And now it's Caldy's turn to play with the ball in behind them, with the wind at their tails. Then Thomas can clear downfield, and Bellamy juggles off the field of play, but it breached the whitewash. And thrown to the line out for Scottish. And it will be interesting to see how Caldy play with the wind at their back. Perhaps not a blockbuster affair in the first 40 minutes. Scottish regularly opting to put boot to ball. And they're accurate in the line out. Nutton filters it to Simmons and he tips on his spowway. He burrows deep to try and breach the defence, but some habits of the first half creeping back in for Scottish as a knock on. Come back for the scrum, and it was a factor in the first 40 minutes from London Scottish, regularly knocking the ball on in open play. And you do wonder how scores might be if they were a bit more accurate from those moments in the game. To the scrum half, Thomas waits. He looks to see his options as well, seeing where his experienced fly half Kieran Wilkinson is lurking about, and back towards the bank side. Tries to boot to ball, but Nutton came out of nowhere to stifle that ball, and it's been hacked downfield. An opportunity here for the Scottish, but well back there was Kilcourse, just to defuse that bomb which was dribbled downfield from Scottish. It looked dangerous, and I think Nutton has perhaps come off second best as well. He was out the traps quickly to throw himself in the path of that kick downfield from Wilkinson. And he is going to need some attention. I think a bit of communication to the bench as well, signalling that they're going to need some more support. And he's back up quickly though. Caldy never been beaten at Patonfield by their visitors, and in the encounters that they've had in Champ Rugby, it's 131 each between these two sides in aggregate. It shows the signs of a tight battle between these two teams. 3 points currently separate them. attacking chance for Scottish to get their second half underway. Driven back initially by Caldy. They have to break free quickly as well, just to stop the run from Scottish getting closer towards that try line. Nutton finds a runner in Matt Wilkinson and thrusts towards the line. And Pick and go round the corner as well, is repelled by this Caldy side. Pick the go. Caldy stand firm again. Matt Gallagher, who's been one of the standout players for Caldy, repelling that effort. Spurway picks the ball up, he tries to twist over the line. The referee quick to get round to have a look and seen it's been held up. Henry Pearson in a brilliant position to see where that ball was. It does look like Nathan Rushton was the player who perhaps got underneath that ball. Spurway trying to contort his body to get over the try line. And the end result is a goal line dropout. Wilkinson hoists it high. Nutton waits underneath as he feeds Bellamy. The towering Marshall tries to muscle his way forward but is driven back. Bellamy again popping up in congested channels and has certainly got the footwork to unlock this defence. Vaughan Bentley with 3 debuts in the front row. Fly half. Fraser Honey with the ball in hand now. Dan Nutton thinks he spots an opportunity to squeeze through the tightest of gaps around the fringes of that breakdown. Spurway flipped closer towards the Caldy 22. Honey throws and goes and darts back in field. Another physical drive up front. Simmons finds Spurway, who has been omnipresent in this passage of play. And Diamond gets the ball from Simmons. Now the outside centre McMillan volleying forward, but again repelled. Driven back by this dogged Caldy defence. Diamond comes again. Nutton finds Honey, who finds Wilkinson on the shoulder. Quick clap of the hands from the scrum half, wanting that ball back desperately to feed players in the outside channel. As Simmons puts boot to ball, he finds Wilkinson and he just launches it downfield. It is well weighted from the experienced fly half. And there's 4 players in chase for Caldy. Bellamy beats 1, beats 2, and beats 3. And then eventually Connor Wilkinson gets back to bring the dangerous fullback to ground. Honey floats it downfield. Wilkinson watches it all the way, and now he's got an opportunity. He opts to kick it downfield and return it. Scottish kick it into the wind. Will Robinson goes to the sky and is eventually found. Dan Nutton lurking in the 22. He calls the mark. There's going to be a free kick to London Scottish inside their own area. There's a positive passage of play from Caldy, and they'll be happy to see the line out. They've been under pressure from the visitors, but they've reacted well, and Caldy will be happy that they've been defending on their own line, and all of a sudden, the way they've managed the game, they've got themselves an attacking opportunity.
Yeah, sorry, I've been eating a burger and chips. Yeah, you can see the lads have had a chat at half time about kicking the ball and playing in Scottish half, which is what we knew we were going to see anyway. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a game of 2 halves, so let's see how this pans out, but it's in the balance at the moment, this half.
Opting to go for that tried and tested rolling ball. Gallagher, the driver at the back of it, spins out of contact and protects the ball. finds Barlow. Temporary stand on the adjacent side here at Patonfield is slightly more packed than it was in the first. Grey clouds overhead. Connor Wilkinson again bouncing off his feet. His now brother Kieran stabs it downfield, and it's a play to make sure that the ball is firmly inside Scottish territory.
Yeah, I mean, he's been looking for that kick all game, hasn't he? And it's going to be slightly easier this half with the wind, so he's just field position's key, and that's what that's what Kieran looks like he wants to achieve.
Nathan Rushton makes his way towards the dugout. He's going to be replaced by Joe Sproston. A very good effort. His last main intervention was holding up London Scottish over the try line to stop what would have been a 5-pointer if his burly forearms weren't in the road. London Scottish wait for the referee's orders after some quick drinks are onboarded. Henry Pearson certainly wanting to get play back underway relatively quickly. Harry Clayton, the starting hooker on debut, still leading the charge in that number 2 jersey for London Scottish. And they're able to win the penalty. Break down in play. Harry Clayton is quick to truck up the touchline because he feels confident this is going to go out, which it does. It's a well judged kick there from Lloyd Seed, the fullback. The boots of the Caldy players brush the 10-metre line inside Scottish territory. Spurway is launched up at the front and receives the ball at the apex, and then Matt Wilkinson is asked just to boulder it forward. Clayton working hard from the touchline, offers himself up for the next carry, and the ball is then launched to the sky. A couple of the towering players, one of them Captain Ransom, are on the sideline, and then Nutton stabs it downfield. But the penalty was going the way of the visitors, and it was well judged and well executed by that Scottish side, able to take play into midfield and then bring it back where they had a couple of their towering players waiting to try and flap the ball back and benefit on any sort of opportunity that would come their way. It looks like it's a penalty, but it looks like it's potentially going dead as well. So nothing will come of this for London Scottish.
Yeah, tail of the first half. I think Scottish have come out, won the scraps again second half. Besides the boos and stuff from the Caldy fans, I do think that's quite a good call from the referee. Robbo's got in there and he's not released the ball straight onto the ball, so I think it's the right decision. However, it's a relief from Caldy as he misses touch, kicks the ball dead.
We'll come back for the scrum as the respective packs all huddle down together, ready to lock horns, and Caldy will be sizing up the territory in front of them. A 2-weight back in the backfield for London Scottish, and Michael Barlow is lurking pretty close to that fly half as he offers his services up to provide a steady platform, not needed, and an orthodox approach to securing the ball from Caldy, and an orthodox scrum half in Joe Sproston as well. Scoops down to get the ball away, and now scrum half Thomas back in post. He's watching the orders from his teammates to utilise this wind, and he does just that. He puts it to the sky. Bellamy watches, ricochets off his chest, and then he's off and running and beats the first challenge. Beat a few defenders this afternoon on replacement. And then Scottish spread it wide. Frank McMillan waiting in the 5 metre channel. The Scottish not able to get any momentum there, and it's been turned over by Caldy. The ball's got to dribble towards Wilkinson. He's got his brother Connor there waiting as well, and he launches the ball into the path of Lloyd Seed. A difficult ball to deal with for the starting fullback. They're playing on that right wing. There was a good option from Connor Wilkinson to put boot to ball.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was a good option. There was possibly an overlap, but like I've been saying all game, it's percentage play. I think this game's going to be won narrowly, and it's about getting yourselves in the right position and taking a chance when you get there.
Okay, another break in play. There's another front row down. It's a shoelace issue, so if it's the front row, this might take a few minutes. But it looks like Vaughan Bentley has been able to successfully sort his boot out, and now he's getting sorted for a little bit of cramp, I believe. But Calder have done well, considering that they held up London Scottish over the line. That's a pivotal time to make sure you didn't concede that 5, potentially 7 points. And they've started to play percentage rugby and play pretty well.
Yeah, I think they found their feet in the second half nicely, like you say. There's a very big swinging point, that try being held up. However, back end of the first half, Caldy again knocked the ball on over the line. So there's 2 missed opportunities there that the game again is still in the balance. And as I keep saying, the next score is crucial. We just win if it's either way.
Great timing as the wind just picked up mid conversation there from Ollie Wynn. First scrum for replacement, Joe Sproston. First test for the front row. And he has brought some stability there as Dickinson looks to go down the blind side. Spoway was lying in wait. Sproston then bounces off a would-be challenger in his road, and the advantage is coming for the home side. And that's not nailed on top of the post if it comes to fruition, but Connor Wilkinson spears through the defensive line. Scottish up quickly. Kieran Wilkinson this time has looked to go the other way. Nutton waits, gathers, and they will come back for the penalty. Innovative play as the sun starts to peek out through the clouds here at Batenfield. Hopefully the sun is out long enough to warm the spectators after that earlier downpour. It's certainly not been raining points in the second half. Still 0-0 in the second period. All the points scored in the first half. 10 for London Scotch, 7 for Caldy. Gallagher has to be accurate at the line out if they're going to exert any pressure. They scored from a similar position in the first half. They bundle the bodies in. They look to try and keep it driving forward. The momentum's going and they get over the try line again, and Gallagher is at the double.
Yes!
Scoring from close range. Caldy take the lead for the first time in this game, 12 points to 10.
Sorry, I missed that. I just went for a toilet break. But yeah, come back to the score. That's always nice.
There was a well-judged line-out throw, perhaps not a textbook lift in the middle of that line-out, but the players were quick there just to congregate around that driving maul and power it towards the line. The additional help from the likes of Barlow certainly helped the cause. It means that Caldy are 12 points to 10 in front, with the conversion attempt to come. 1 from 1 for Kieran Wilkinson so far in this game. The wind's swirling in the infield. And it has grabbed that one mid-flight and just boosts it towards the left-hand side of the uprights. And it remains a 2-point game now, 12 points to 10.
Yeah, tough kick. As I keep saying, the game is right in the balance. It is anyone's to take. So exciting last 30 to come, I think.
Ball launched downfield. Conor Wilkinson does well to gather that back to brother Kieran, who takes the responsibility to kick it back towards London Scottish. Tom Marshall. Will Simmons tried to pick and stab it through, but I think he has just fumbled it. It did look like it was acutely judged. A wry smile on his face as well as he kicks the ball away, and he has been met with a Merseyside greeting from the Caldy fans. Ekran is on for Caldy as well on the left hand side of that scrum. So a couple of front row replacements. And ball filtering through the scrum again into the hands of Dickinson. Thomas gives it to Wilkinson going against the grain. Barlow then links up with Connor but just not able to gather the ball. And it fumbles forward, and it was well run apart from just gathering that ball.
Yeah, frustrating. Just frustrating to watch any balls down really from both sides. But having a shot and it's not come off. So Scottish come here and see what Scottish can launch.
It certainly seems like one of those games that it's always hard to judge if it's better to play with the wind at your back or play into it. Caldy done exceptionally well to play into the elements in the first 40 minutes. Scottish perhaps not adapted yet to similar conditions. Caldy judged their kicks well to pin back their opposition here. Solid base from that scrum has yielded the penalty. You can see Declan Johnson, Pico and Thomas Lindsay are on for London Scottish, adding their muscle to that front row. The second row as well. Lindsay and Johnson, part of the Royal Navy team that were victorious in the Inter-Service Championship at Allianz Stadium this year.
Yeah, I haven't got a lot for you there. I don't really, like I said earlier, don't understand scrum, so I don't understand if a scrum wheels how it goes one way, but I don't know, so I can't comment.
Honest analysis there from our co-commentator. Simmons barges forward, has been met well by Ollie Hearn. And again, sloppy play from London Scottish has just turned possession into Caldy hands. Stop-start nature probably favouring the home side. And what has been a physical encounter between these two sides in the opening weekend of Champ Rugby campaign. Seen another body on the ground needing a bit of medical assistance. Jake Murray is going to replace Dan Nutton at scrum half as well, so it affords an opportunity to shuffle the pack for London Scottish. It certainly looks like it's a player who's not going to get up very quickly here. And the only try in the second half has gone the way of the home side. Matt Gallagher getting his second of the game in carbon copy fashion from the drive-in mall, supported by all the forwards and a sprinkle of the backs as well. And it's a point in the game, I think Caldy will welcome the fact that London Scottish are not really been able to handle the ball too well. They've not really got up past 4, 5, 6 phases. There's always a fumble in there, and playing into the wind, that's something that Caldy will be taking a lot of pride of.
Yeah, I think it was similar to the first half of Caldy, knocking the ball on. I think playing into the wind, biggest thing is keeping hold of the ball and just not letting the opposition who have got the wind to play on top. Like you say, it keeps bouncing back and two. There's a lot of knock-ons due to the wind, but see Matt Wilkinson get up here, which is a good sight because you want to see him on the pitch. He's a good player. But yeah, it seems to be a few niggles out there. First game of the season, obviously the lads have had pre-season, but this is a step up from pre-season. This means something this year, especially with relegation and playoffs.
Both sides suffered a couple of defeats in pre-season as they look to try and test and iron out their combinations ahead of a reshaped Champ Rugby campaign. Bottom side relegated. The next two play in a playoff to make sure they can stave off relegation. The top 6 going to tussle it out for promotion to the Premier Rugby level. There's another scrum. It's disrupted by the over-keenness of the forwards. The referee outlining exactly what you expect here at the set piece. And there is a relative lull in this game as some of the replacements look to try and inject their talent and skill on proceedings and change the tide for either side. But it is the Ravers who lead the Exiles at Paytonfield in the opening weekend of the Champ Rugby campaign. And another solid scrum has been marched back, and Dickinson is going to do all he can to claw that back into his own hands. Thomas, rolling over the ball, was able to release and get back to his feet quickly. He's done incredibly well to get that back in his own hands. Ollier, and in the hands of Wilkinson, who is gifted with a strong wind at his tail. Belly sticks that under the foot brilliantly and calmly as well. Wasting little time running towards the Caldy defence. Declan Johnson. And now into the wider channels. Noah Ferdinand has created the overlap. He angles towards the 22, and then the next run from Wilkinson, showing no ill effects from his earlier bump. Back on his feet as Honey is able to find Bingo. Placement scrum half, Murray has brought a certain amount of energy into the game. Quick to get the ball away from the base. Honey again finds Johnson. Johnson's clattered in midfield. Honey finds Simmons, and he has got Ferdinand in acres of space. Called the defence over quickly, and the ball is just squirmed out of contact. And it looks like Kieran Wilkinson feels that there's an opportunity to try and unlock this defence and run from deep. The attacking passage of play just runs to ground. Sproston calmly drops the shoulder just to slump to the ground to afford the ball for Thomas to again utilise that wind. It's a challenging bounce, but it's been gathered by Murray. And the Caldy fans will welcome that territorial gain as Johnson again, not for the first time in the last few minutes, trucks it forward. And Pico. Placement front row. Murray gives it to Honey and he goes to the sky. Wilkinson's got time to take a nibble of the space in behind, and that could be an excellent 50-22 from the fly half, greeted with a large round of applause from the spectators at Paytonfield. But that is a clutch kick on debut from Kieran Wilkinson.
I think that's what he's going to bring to the Caldy team this year. He's a very good kicker and he's been looking for the whole game. He's landed one finally. So yeah, it's a great platform to launch from here and see if we can capitalise on it.
I think there's potentially going to be a little break in play. The referee just marching over to the injured player to see, and it looks like it is going to be a head knock. Good work from the medical team to quickly deal with the injured player. Reintroduction of Monty Weatherby.
Looks like it could be ahead. Doesn't seem like he's holding nothing, and obviously if he's walking off to the dock, that would be my guess. He's going off for a concussion test.
Ralph McEachran. It's a slow walk. It was a gesture and point towards the head from the medical assistant. It's signs of early season fragility, if anything, as well. The pre-season hit-outs to try and get players up to a level and condition. There's always the risk of early season injuries and the break in regular season action almost softens the body. Ralph McEachran, keen to make an impact off the bench, is taking a clatter to the head and well dealt with by the medical team as again the Caldy pack congregate 5 metres from the Scottish line. They bark the orders to get more help and more support. The outstretched arm from the referee signalling that this is run to ground. But it comes again, the twist, the turn! And the ball has been judged to have been held up. It did look like Ollie Hearn had twisted his way over the try line. But the end is going to be a yellow card for Jake Spurway, returning from injury. The early introduction to the game, but he's going to get a 10-minute rest because he's going to be put in the sin bin. Also nearly for Caldy there. Encouragement coming on from the Caldy fans as Hearn finds his target. It twists and weaves to the left hand side. The Scottish players littered across the ground as momentum still takes it towards the try line. And Caldy are over from close quarters for a third time in this game. The packs on the head go to Ollie Hearn. The replacement hooker picking up from where Matt Gallagher left off. And Caldy extend their lead 17 points to 10.
Yeah, credit to the forwards. They've dogged out this game with the wind. There's always going to be a forwards battle with the conditions, and fair play to Caldy forward. They've dogged out and they've got 3 more tries now. So yeah, it's great to watch, and let's just see what's left to come.
Advantage Caldy. The home side have come from 10-0 down to currently lead 17 points to 10. It was at 50-22 from this man taking the conversion that set up that platform. Can he add the extras? He certainly can. He split the Kinlan. The flags go up. And it's a relatively comfortable advantage now. 9 points they've got, London Scottish, at an arm's length. Wind at their back, confidence oozing through this home side now. Max Laboda gathers the ball, plucks it from the sky as it falls into his grasp from the restart. Nye Thomas just dribbles the ball into position and then launches it downfield. Honey waits, and Noah Ferdinand sets chase. That ball is bouncing. Ferdinand swats but has a second bite at it. And Johnson down quickest. Has got the ball back in Scottish hands. London Scottish will be wanting to try and reply straight away and not let this Caldy side and the large support here at Patonfield get on top of them and grow in confidence. Scottish yet to win at Patonfield. Driven off the ball, Simmons goes quickly. He's attacking it. A really disjointed Caldy defensive line. Honey finds Mbiko. Honey again shouting and screaming for the ball. Has got McMillan in support. I think he spots a gap, but it's quickly plugged. Murray finds Johnson. It's hauled to the ground. The next wave of attack lies in wait. And then Bellamy acts as first receiver, but Connor Wilkinson does brilliantly well just to wrap him up. So there's a free ball to play with here for London Scottish. Advantage coming the way of the visitors. Trying to rip the ball free. Just not able to take advantage of that free ball. They will look to go to the corner. And that's a well found touch there from Honey. And Jack Wright is going to come on for London Scottish, and also Tom Wilstead, signing from Bristol Bears a few seasons ago. And this is a big throw for Jack Wright. Coming onto the pitch, his first task is to try and find a target in the line out. And he completes that task, and then he packs down at the rear of this driving maul. And this has got some good momentum early doors as well. The Caldy players swimming through to try and put a bit of pressure on Jack Wright. And the bodies all fall to the ground. And it's brilliant defensive work at the maul. And they've been able to score 3 tries from that driving maul. And they've been able to repel one there as well. It does look like there's perhaps some ill effects from that defensive effort as well, as one of the Caldy players lies prone on the ground with, again, medical assistance coming on pretty quickly, but brilliant in attack at the driving maul and brilliant in defence as well.
Yeah, huge momentum swing now. I think Scottish score. It's the game's right in the balance again. Again, a dogged effort from the forwards. They're putting a hell of a shift, 1 to 8, all of them. So let's see if Caldy can clear the lines now, or if Scottish can stop them and put some more pressure on.
I think that's Captain JJ Dickinson just on his knees, get a glug of water and back to his feet. I mean, a captain's performance from the number 8, leading from the front. not shirking from any physical battle with the opposition at Patonfield this afternoon. Many spectators watching on, trying to see the impact of some of the new signings. Dano and Max Laboda, Rhys Tudor and Kieran Wilkinson, the four on debut for Caldy. Four in the starting lineup for London Scottish as well. Fraser Honey the only back, and then a full front row, Bentley, Clayton and Diamond, who have since been replaced. That new look front row. Stoops up again and takes orders from Henry Pearson.
Looks like Ralph McLean's failed his HIA. See us shaking a head from the doctor there, so unfortunately it looks like he's failed his HIA.
So the converted back row, Toulouse is going to watch the rest of this game from the dugout just in front of the banking here at the home of Caldy. And from that scrum, the penalty is gone to Scottish for a knee on the ground. And it's an option to go for the posts as well. Noah Ferdinand out on that far side was screaming inwards, infield asking for them to have a shot at the posts, which is this is no easy kick in these windy conditions.
Yeah, I'm just about to say it's no easy kick. It's probably a good decision. You want to come away with points, especially this late on in the game. But yeah, it's no easy kick. So we'll see if he converts here.
Tom Wilstead, his first pop at the posts. And he's pulled, as you can hear from the sarcastic cheers from the Caldy fans, he's pulled it to the right hand side and 3 points have gone up Egan. And with the wind at their tails, this is a great opportunity for the Ravers just to launch this downfield. There's a small holding of space just in behind Simmons. I'm not able to find it because he's there and he finds Bellamy. And as the wind settles, he goes to the sky. Oh, there's a clattering collision there as well. The challenge well ridden. Wilkinson travels and stabs the ball forward. And Lloyd Seed can only watch that ball slide across the grass and off the pitch for a line out.
Yeah, you can see what Kieran's trying to do. I've been saying it all game, but he's just looking to play the percentage plays and one more try. Bonus points, so opportunities when you can take them.
Caldy chasing that try bonus. Johnson is at the front. The referee spots the sprint throw. And Jack Wright has been thrust into the cauldron. He's been put under a bit of pressure with the ball hoisted above his head at the line out. One from 5 metres out, and then Johnson asking for it short in windy conditions. So next up on the menu for Caldy is a delicious attacking opportunity just on the cusp of the opponent's 22-metre line. The ball quickly grabbed away from the scrum. It's been stabbed through. Conor Wilkinson is chasing, and there's a little bit of a mix-up in the backfield from Scottish. You're just not able to gather that quickly.
Yeah!
It did look like perhaps Bellamy, the replacement scrum half, Jake Murray, just A lack of communication there as the ball was stabbed through. It was a dangerous one centre field for the Wilkinsons. First Kieran with the kick and Connor heading through.
Yeah, great platform to launch off now. Looks like the Scottish have just come back to 15, so helps them out. But it's a great platform to launch off. We'll see how this plans out.
Mark Gerrard comes on for Caldy. He slaps in the back to his teammates aware he is raring to go. For the Wilkinson Blitz, flat on the left hand side of the scrum. Brother Kieran just straight in behind with Barlow on his tail. The scrum is driven forward. It is then given to Conor Wilkinson. He's been asked to keep it secure. The reintroduced Monty Weatherby carries forward. Cry of patience from the technical area as well towards the Caldy players. How important will this passage of play be in the opening weekend in Champ Rugby? Flurry towards the line. The forward's being tasked to truck it closer and closer towards this line, drawing in that Scottish defence. The pace of attack is kept up. Another chance there for Caldy to try and get the ball wide, and it's been spoilt by Scottish. There's calls for the try as well. The bonus point try is in the bag. We've gone over the line, and it's a brilliant opportunistic try. They had the structure. It looked like it had been spoilt by Scottish, but eventually they acted quickest and got it down.
Oh, I'm happy. That's all I got to say.
Brilliant patience from this Caldy side, and they stretch the lead to 24 points to 10. And they're further and further out of distance.
What on call?
Wilkinson to add the extras. Confirmation of two things. 2 points for Kieran Wilkinson, and the try goes to Martin Gerrard. The replacement second row, barely been on the pitch a couple of minutes. It was his first scrum, the first passage of play he was involved in. He's been able to get the ball down. Centre field restart, flat back by Ferdinand, and then hacked downfield by Caldy. The chase is on, but Caldy again are just able to get down in Scottish territory, but it's the final play here, and it is victory to the home side. They finish with a flourish with a bonus point. They get the final try through Gerrard, but it was 3 tries before that from the hooker position. An impregnable drive and maul. Mike Gallagher with a double, and Ollie Hearn getting one on the board as well. Sole try for London Scottish did come from Matthew Gribben. They raced out to a 10-point lead, but they were quickly clawed back as Caldy grew in confidence. And after a downpour, the sun is certainly shining here on Payton Field. For the team from the Merseyside, their 4th year at this level, and they have got this year off to a perfect start. 5 points on the board, and their visitors are heading back to the capital with no points in the bag. Just a reminder of how proceedings went here at Payton Field. The opening weekend Men Champ Rugby. A reminder that we're bringing you all of the games this season live on Clever TV from Champ Rugby. And this one here started with London Scottish taking the lead through a try from Matthew Gribble, all converted by Fraser Honey. There was then a halfway line penalty from the Derby Dawn at fly half for the visitors. And London Scottish looked comfortable. That wasn't until Matt Gallagher was able to tussle his way over the line from a driving ball. It was replicated in the second half